Okay. It's your boy Jose from Big Meat Sports. I know that we were saying that we're going to be on at 11. Yes, we're running on extremely Cuban time. But I know some of you guys are okay with it because you guys got to watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come back on the Saints. Again, Brady does it at the last second. So, hey, look, it is what it is. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, our audio issue is corrected so we can hear JC. That's why we had that little delay. But JC, my boy, how are you doing today?
Be doing better if the Dolphins had won yesterday, but I'm doing all right. Can't complain.
There you go. All right, so let's talk about the Dolphins because the Dolphins. This was a big game, and I think it was as big as a game that probably where like to test where you guys are at. Um, Everybody was talking about this game. I thought it was one. I thought it was going to be flexed out, to go to the Sunday night football game and have the Dallas Cowboys play the 4 o'clock game. But that's not going to happen because Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones won't let that happen. But tell me what. I mean, let me tell you from the outside perspective because as an outside perspective, what I saw Tua kind of, was just hyped up a little bit too much. But I saw that there was plays and there was a lot of plays that were left out there. And I felt like if there was not drop passes and misses by Tua, I think you guys could have had this game. And tell me your overall perception of the game.
Yeah, man. Tua was just off, bro. He left at least yards on the field with those missed passes. He was just off target. He corrected those issues. It was too late. Although we had a puncher's chance there, bomb to Tyreek, and then we were driving with only down 6 points. But then we didn't convert on that in their territory. But I put this game on, and you know what? He's a good kid, man, because he definitely ain't Zach Wilson. I'll tell you that, because at his press conference, he blamed himself and only himself. Our defense wasn't great, but they did the game. But offense just wasn't on point, man. Tua just.
No, yeah, I feel that the offense. If there was, I believe it was Wilson out of the backfield. If he catches that one, I think it was like a third down or maybe fourth down. If he catches out of the backfield, he's probably going to the house because one of the linebackers came in.
For
It
sure.
was just a lot of misplays.
No safety
So
help.
yeah, with no safety help, I didn't see that much of the offensive line issues, and I don't think that's something to blame. It's something probably to that what you guys addressed signing Eric Fisher today, but I do think that you guys had chances, and it's just the defense. Again, we talk about the pressure, and there wasn't that much pressure that I felt at the beginning of the game with Brock Purdy. Then you guys started sending the house, and then that's when things got a little bit uglier because he was just it was a quick checkdowns.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Jimmy G go down, I was like, "This way, we're gonna let this Mr. Irrelevant guy beat us." But you know what? He was very impressive. All he needed to do was manage the game the way the defense was playing, Caffrey was playing, the way they were able to run the ball, and they didn't do anything spectacular. Like I said, our defense, they didn't lose, and the offensive line didn't lose us a game. Our offense lost us that game because the game was such a bang. Very first play, we take it to the house. I didn't even get a chance to to do anything. I literally turned the game on, and we had already scored.
Yeah.
It was that. You think Tua's going to stay on point the way he has been this whole season, but he goes. It let our defense down, and our defense was, like I said, it wasn't great, but they definitely game. And that kid, man, all credit to him. He made his fair share of mistakes here and there, but they weren't, catastrophic.
Yeah.
We were able to sack him a couple times, and but he was able to get the ball out. Um, and the problem when you're doing man, there's always going to be someone wide open, and
Mhm.
those are the issues. On their third and longs or third and mid, they were able to convert every time because they had someone wide open, Josh Boyer style, but maybe that wasn't the right call every single time to pressure this kid to handle himself well in it. So all credit to him, but I put this game on not necessarily the offense because the plays were there to be made. He just wasn't hitting the throws, man, and that's not Tua.
Yeah, and I get I feel you on that. It's but I do think this is a good game for Tua to be humbled, and I do think for because in a season there's a bunch of ups and downs, and I believe this is a great time for Tua to have one of
We
these
needed
games
that.
because it was not like you guys got blown out. Yes, the score doesn't indicate what how competitive that game was. You guys were going up versus a great defense, and just to have that bomb of a
We
play,
scored. No one scored on them in the last couple games, I believe.
yeah, in the second half, yeah, and Tyreek with that bomb. I think that's probably the first time I've seen Tua hit Tyreek in stride, and that
I
was that
know.
bomb, and
No,
and I was like,
he did
thank
it. He
God,
did
bro.
it. He did.
Oh,
But
Baltimore,
you always feel like Tyreek has to wait a little bit. Scary,
yeah,
but that was a perfect throw. Um, like you said, the score doesn't reflect what the game really was. It was tight, and like I said, if that's going to be Tua's worst game, or if that's going to be, it's really not that bad when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? He threw for almost 300 yards,
yeah,
touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a fumble lost. But it's really not just left a bunch of yards and points on the field. He was just it wasn't. You know what? We play the Chargers. They've been calling these next 3 weeks because we had San Fran. Now we got the Chargers, and then we got Buffy prime time games Sunday night and Saturday night. Now you're really going to see offense or frauds or not. I don't think we are. Offensively, I think we can hang with anybody. But Tua, he needed this kind of game. He needed this. The
yeah,
Dolphins needed this.
yeah, and I feel
I
like
think they're. I
this
think they're
is
better. I think they're better equipped to go to the Chargers week because of the game we just had. I think they're going to be motivated to play better, and especially Tua.
And I think it's good for you guys to have this stretch run because it's setting you guys up for the playoffs. It's not like some rinky
Yeah,
dink teams and you know that you're going to blow them out. These are the situations that the Dolphins do need to have these type of games because playoff time is coming around. I believe and wholeheartedly believe that the Dolphins are going to be in that top seed. If anything, you're there's nobody. You're going to make the wild card. I have a good feeling. Um, and we
as long
have
as we make
our
the playoffs.
yeah, and we have our first comment right there, Mr. Jerome himself.
Our number
Where's
one
a
fan.
yeah, our number one fan. See, you gotta love this guy,
Yeah,
bro. You know he
you know
he
what?
he's been with Big Meat Sports ever since we've got on. So hey, shout out to Jerome. Love you, man.
Hey, you know what,
um,
Jerome? And he made a really good point. You know, we were missing our two starting tackles, Armstead, which Austin Jackson, whatever. He's been sort of ass, but missing our tackles. Um, we weren't going to use as an excuse because, like I said, the plays were still there. Given the fact that we had all those injuries on the offensive line, our O line actually played pretty decent. Again, Nick Bosa, granted he goes off on anybody. I don't care who you are.
yeah.
He had a hell of a game. And then our run game, he's right. Jeff Wilson had one carry. I didn't look at the stats, but Mostert probably carried less than 10 times.
Yeah.
We were one-dimensional in that end. and we were still able to move the ball down the field. But a bit more of a balanced attack when we play the Chargers this week.
Yeah, and I've always said it, and I said it on the last podcast, and I keep on telling people is that it needs to be balanced attack. You guys have a good running game. I don't know if they trusted the running game with all the new, the offensive line issues, because again, you got to go with your strengths, and maybe those guys were good at pass blocking, not really good at run blocking. But to me, I've always heard from people in the NFL is like it's easier to run block than pass block. So I mean, I think they should have went with the run a little bit more. But again, you guys, I think you
It's
guys
hard to
held.
run on that defense. Hard to run. It's hard to run on that defense.
Yeah, but I think you guys held your own, bro. Like when I mean it was impressive to see, just in the aspect of all their weapons. And I didn't see McCaffrey really go off. He had his receiving yards and stuff like that, and here and there, but it wasn't like a takeover game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those, it was a dominant
Right.
from one player and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I think you guys, I think you guys go to the Chargers. You beat the Chargers. I got you losing to the Bills, but then ending the season on a 3-game win streak.
I don't expect Park and win. We don't play very well up there, especially in the cold. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like the Bills. I've always spoken very high, and Josh Allen too. But I don't know, man. I think if there's any year for us this year, they don't scare me. They don't scare me this year. They don't. No one does. I think we have a puncher's chance to go up there and take. They have a decent defensive line. They have some studs on the offense as well. Shaky right now. We should be able to pressure Herbert and see where it goes. But games, I'm just saying we have a chance.
Yeah. And I always say it's NFL. It's any given Sunday, but Saturday will be you got a Saturday game, so it'll be any given Saturday. So no, but yeah, the Dolphins. Hey, you can't win them all, but you can learn from them. Okay, and that's why I think
we're on a 5-game winning streak. We've done very well this year. I think hype around us, but I think we've kind of exceeded expectations a little bit. When we've been running our defense, our defense isn't great. It wasn't like it was last year. Defense. I wouldn't say they've lost us any games really significantly like that. Or Tua wasn't playing in them. So now, hey, you know what? Tua, there was a lot of hype around Tua too, and I think if there was any game that was going to humble him, it was this one. And I believe.
Okay. All right, let's say all that Dolphin talk. Let's talk about them Cowboys.
I gotta go, bro.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm just gonna talk briefly about the Cowboys. Look, what's concerning for me. We all know What was that?
Go ahead and brag. This is the time. This is the year you brag. You guys are
and Jerome,
having a hell of a year.
Jerome, don't log off, all right? Because I see you still on there, all right? No, look, hey, the most concerning thing about this, because we dominated the second half of fourth quarter mostly, but I do think that what's concerning is the Dak interceptions. It's getting concerning to the fact that I think he's trying to force too much down the field. We do have playmakers, and it's concerning to the fact that we're starting off slow. And at the beginning, is when Dak started this run, we started off hot. And the last few games, we're starting off slow, and we're relying on our defense too much. But no, I do think that we dominated second half. 33 points in the fourth quarter. That's by far, it ties the most in the fourth quarter for Cowboys franchise. But man, I mean, I don't know what to think, because is the Colts that bad? But then when I kind of look at it also, the Colts held they only lost 1 point to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
So I don't
they
know what to
they've
think.
playing better. They've been playing better, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. You guys quarter. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I remember I was keeping up with the game. I wasn't watching it. I was keeping up with it, playing against Zeke, and I wanted the Colts to shut him down, and I had Jonathan Taylor, but I remember checking it, and the Colts were only down by a couple points. You guys were in the 40s, and I was like, "Holy crap, what the hell happened?" But it was like
yeah, it was an avalanche in the fourth quarter. It just when it rained, it poured, boy, and it was like turnover after turnover after turnover.
I don't think the Colts are really that bad of a team. They're as bad as their record shows, but they've been in the game since this guy. They've been decent. So, but you guys really put it on them. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. One thing I want to point out, and I know the sports centers and all these other people, they don't want to. They're not going to say this, and I'm pretty sure some Cowboys fans will say this. But look at we've known that the Cowboys are bad at the run defense, but the past 3 games, you can't tell me that we are not doing better in the run. We held Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, and Jonathan Stewart, all of them under 100 yards.
Jonathan Stewart.
What's this guy's name for the Colts?
Oh, Jonathan Taylor. I was like,
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah,
Stewart still playing.
My bad. Jonathan Taylor. I don't know why I thought that Jonathan Taylor, but yeah, Jonathan Taylor. All of them we held under 100 yards. So it's encouraging on that fact. Now, what's again concerning is that Anthony Brown went down with Achilles. We are very, very thin at corner. So we're gonna be calling up some practice squad people, but they are not throwing to Trayvon Diggs' side. I mean, he only got burned that one, and he tried to jump a route. But Michael Pittman had 0 catches yesterday on Trayvon Diggs. So they're just going to be going on the other side. They're going to, it's going to be Kelvin Joseph and Deron Bland, which Deron Bland had 2 interceptions, but it's coming against Matty Ice. So Matty Ice is throwing picks left and right out there, but it's very concerning. I don't even know. Hey, we might have to check out, see if Michael Parsons can play corner, because that we might have to. We're running thin on that one.
Bro, let me tell you, man. I feel you. We're like right now with the Dolphins. So I feel you on that one. We found a diamond in the rough with Kader Cole, Xavier Howard. But hey, look, Byron Jones is going to be available next year because the Dolphins are for sure. We're not paying that money.
Yeah, I'm good on Byron Jones. It looks like he's been injury prone. Yes, he doesn't get. We're all about turnovers, and he doesn't get the interceptions. So I'm not sure about that. But that's
true.
Yeah. That's it. Dallas is going on the uptrend. We play Houston, and then we play Jacksonville Jaguars. So we're keeping up. We should keep on keeping up with the Eagles. We're going to be right on the Eagles' tail. I'm telling you, I think the Eagles. I think the Eagles are frauds. We're going to show that. We're going to show the world that they're frauds, because we're gonna when they come to Dallas, we're gonna put a whooping on them. Expectations are always high in Cowboy Land, but it starts with. Here, let me show you. Yeah, I mean,
bye Jones. Yeah, man.
Hey, look. Yeah, he's. I mean, this guy. I don't know what happened. He's drinking too much. He's hanging out too much at Wynwood in Miami. So he needs to come back in Dallas or somewhere else.
Man, I don't. We
thought
Byron
he was Jones.
We thought he was 4, and hasn't been the case, bro. So we don't know what the hell is going on. Major step.
Hey, to end the episode, look, our knucklehead play of the week. Look, I've been talking about it. I don't know if you can see it on the side, but I'm gonna show Jerome here. Our knucklehead play of the week. Now, it's a play. Yes, it's a play, but I don't know if you ever seen this, JC, and you coming from a basketball background, how many times have you changed your shot while playing? And I'm gonna show you this caca of a shot. All right. I don't even know if you have seen this, but check this out.
Starting to really
Nah, I
feel good
haven't.
about that left hand shot. Look, that's a jumper.
Left hand shot. Let me one more time.
Really
left
feel
hand.
good about that left
Look at
hand
the
shot. Look, that's a jumper.
look
And
at
it
the
hits
people on the
front of
bench
rim,
and are like
rolls around. Look at George Hill and Wesley Matthews. They're not paying attention.
that has to
Wow.
be the most ugliest shot I've ever seen in my life.
But
Have you ever seen somebody?
Is he
What? Say it again.
is he not a lefty? Is he a
No,
lefty?
he's a righty. He's a righty, and he's changing that mid-season.
So he changed the shot. That wasn't like a one-off.
No, he's changed his shot. He's
Holy moly.
and one Mason Plumlee. I don't even know what. How is he still in the league? Because this guy is
That's
like
crazy.
big mustard. Like he's big for nothing, dog. Like he's a little bit athletic, but non-shooting. And when you have to resort to shooting lefty, man.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
And what made me bring this to light is all the reaction from the people on the sideline. They're like, yo, are you kidding me?
That's an ugly ass shot, bro. I think the shots I ever seen was Sean Marion and Lonzo Ball. Take the cake.
But but Lonzo Ball, at least he's fixing his shot and he hasn't gone to the separate hand. But hey, Sean Marion, hey, some people say like my shot's kind of like Sean Marion. Oh, it was, but that boy used to rain him though.
Yeah, Sean, but he had a weird freaking shot.
Like, hey,
yeah, I was like that. Yeah.
Oh man, but hey, look.
Before you leave though, baby.
Oof. Hey, look. Hey, you guys are turning your season around.
In a row. Having this conversation with Duncan the other day, I was like, I told him a couple weeks ago, I was disgusted. I like how they moved Westbrook to the bench. That's a start. But in order for us to be any good, AD has to dominate. And that's exactly what he's been doing. So thank God for that.
And then he's gonna come down with the injury, and then you guys are fucked again.
Don't say that, man. Come on.
No, I never wish on injury on any player. I love to see competitive games. I love to see everybody out there. So, but hey, look, hey, thank you guys for tuning in for Big Meat Sports. Hey, I'm again sorry coming in here a little bit late, running on Cuban time, but we had some audio issues.
That was my fault.
Yeah, don't do that shit again, bro.
That's on me, man.
So, hey, thank you for Jerome for tuning in, and thank you for all for tuning in. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Twitch, everything. Thank you guys again, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Hey, Jerome, stay some Cuban coffee.